You're listening to the Ball Talk Podcast with me, Ryan Bailey. This podcast is brought to you by Adapt Athletic Performance and Therapy. Head over to Instagram and give them a follow at adapt_clinic. If you enjoyed this podcast, don't forget to leave a like, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe or follow button as well. Without further ado, let's get straight into the podcast. Right, how's the form? This is podcast episode number 60, and we're going to do behind the scenes today of what's going to be going on in, I suppose, a day of the life sort of a thing. We've got two games to cover today: Sligo versus Armagh, which is going to be the first game, and Mayo versus Galway. The first one is Sligo Armagh in the hurling, Mayo Galway in the first round of the Little Ladies National Football League. As you can see behind me, perfect day for hurling. Markshire Park is looking absolutely spectacular. Bit of a wind. Grass is perfect, weather is A1. So this is a replay, of course, of the 2019 Nicky Racker Cup final, which Sligo won. Armagh won their first game last week against Longford in the division. This is Sligo's first game of the season, and of course Sligo beat Leitrim in the 3B final last year, so this is their first game in 3A. Right, so that's game over here in Markievicz Park. Sligo 2-24, Armagh a goal in 18. First game of the season, first win. Mark, your thoughts on it?
Yeah, fantastic win there, Ryan. I mean, we got promoted last year up to a higher level. Hard to know how things are going to pan out, especially with Armagh having a game under their belt. But I mean, Sligo came out all guns blazing, had the lead at half time by a point after playing into the wind. Steady the ship. There was a few nerves rattled there in the second half, and Armagh had the goal chances that were brilliantly saved by Stephen Fleming in goals. And then when Sligo came back to 15, they saw the game out brilliantly.
And we spoke about just a few of the players that stood out for us. We said Jared O'Kelly Lynch, Tony O'Kelly Lynch, Rory McHugh, Joe McHugh. You expect them lads to be playing well all the time, but Kevin Banks, Thomas Cawley and Stephen Fleming are three that stood out as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is Stephen's sort of first full year with Sligo. He came in sort of last year during lockdown, a clear man, very good goalkeeper, and he mightn't have been happy with the first goal today, but his puck outs were brilliant throughout the whole game, and then he made those two vital saves in the second half. And obviously, you expect the normal performances from the O'Kelly Lynches, the McHughes, but it was great for the other lads to step up today and show their talent.
And we spoke as well that quite a number of debutants came in today. We said Thomas Cawley came in and Phil Moylan came in and got a score as well. So it's good to see Padraig Mannion breathing through all these younger talent as well.
Oh, 100%. I mean, there is a lot of young talent there in Sligo coming through. There's been a lot of work done at underage level, and the likes of Naomh Eoin and out west and Easkey, and they're coming through at this level, and they're quality hurlers from the world go, and they're well able to step up to this level.
So we kind of got a bit sidetracked there in the commentary as well. We weren't sure about the sin bin rule. So just to kind of explain it, Marty Duffy told us there about 15 minutes ago what the crack was. So I think it was, we spoke with Paul Sievers too. Thomas Cawley got pulled down in the 20 metre line. There was no sin bin given there, but on the far end it was Nigel Cullen that was dismissed for the same thing. So I suppose a bit of a, I know it's early days yet, but the referee got the call right for Armagh.
Yeah, I suppose I should have done a bit more homework on the new rules that have come in this year, but I mean, for the penalty that Sligo gave away, obviously young Kilcullen there gave away the foul, and when you give away a goal scoring opportunity, it's 10 minutes in the bin. That should have happened for the Armagh man, but wasn't. I mean, today the referee was inconsistent, but he was inconsistent for both sides. A lot of steps been given against teams that wouldn't be used to being given. But I mean, it's their first few weeks out as well after a long lockdown. We've seen the new advantage rule there, where they're supposed to blow it up and give the free that a lot of counties have been given out about the last 3 weeks. And near the end, I mean, Jared O'Kelly Lynch was basically in on goals there, 30 yards out, grass in front of him, and the ref blew it up for a free on the 45. But I mean, we have to get used to this. These are the rules they're playing under now.
Exactly. Right, so here with Padraig Mannion and Kevin O'Kennedy after Sligo's 9-point victory over Armagh in today's second round of the league, should I say, first round for Sligo. Padraig, happy out today?
Very happy with the performance of the lads. It's obvious they've done a bit of work in the lockdown, so they were all flying fit, and all we had to do was get touch work right with them in training. Thanks be to God, they've done well.
Kevin, you got a belt midway through. Well, you got a few belts in the first half, but you got one midway through the first half. How are you feeling now?
Feeling grand. Shoulders a bit sore now, but sure, be back soon, hopefully. There to go.
Good stuff. And Padraig, the sin bin kind of went against you in the second half there, but when it came back to 15 men, drove on and the league just kept going and going.
I think we went into the sin bin only 1 or 2 points up, and we came out of it 4, I think, to be honest. So I don't know if that's a good thing or not for Niall Kilcullen, but we came out of it well, and in fairness, the two lads that came on and actually the 4 or 5 lads that came on changed a bit of the momentum in the game and drove it on for us.
Yeah, and the debuts as well. Thomas Cawley came in from the start. We noticed myself and Mark on commentary the high pressing, like he did it right up until he was hauled off there at the end.
Yeah, he was we probably could have brought him off a bit earlier. I say he was getting tired and he was on a yellow card as well, so we probably should have taken him off a bit earlier. He was a bit tired, but the work right out of him was brilliant, thanks be to God.
Kevin, Longford next week now. We saw Armagh beat them last week. You've beaten Armagh today. How are we looking forward to this game now?
We'll be looking forward to it, yeah. Just get ourselves right now for the next week, and we'll give them a good rattle. Hopefully get the right side of the result.
Good stuff. Cheers, lads. Thanks a million. Right, so that's game 1 of the day done. Sligo beating Armagh, the hurling. Good start for Sligo. A very entertaining game now, it must be said. It's kind of, you'd have heard it from myself and Mark talking about it, and even with Padraig and Kevin afterwards. Sligo kind of led for the majority of the game, leading by a point, leading by 2 points. Then they got a bit of a lead. Sligo got a sin bin. Niall Cullen got sin binned late midway through the second half. Armagh kind of got back on top. They had 3 goal chances in as many minutes. Sligo did well to keep them out. They go back to 15 men and just pulled away then, won by 9 points in the end. So yeah, we're on our way now to, just in the car now, getting ready to go to McHale Park for today's second game. Mayo versus Galway in the first round of the Little Ladies National Football League. I'll show my setup there as well. Going to be joined by Sinead Stagg on commentary. So yeah, next video will be when we're in McHale Park. This is our review for the game. Lovely weather in Markfish Park today, and McHale Park is no different. You can hear Midwest there in the background ready to go for us. We're just under an hour and a half away from throwing now. McHale Park looking absolutely gorgeous out there. You can see TG Car set up there with the little banners and LGFA on the screen. Plenty of TG Car cameras set around there just below us today. So as far as I know, it's just us here. This is our setup here from Midwest. This is the Comrex unit. It's there's a bit to it, but once you know it, it's not too bad. There's my mic. There's going to be another mic for Sinead as well, and you've got the headphones there too. All the equipment goes into them units. So yeah, the game, as I said, just under an hour and a half away, and it is absolutely perfect for a game. So Mike, the first game in charge, your thoughts?
Yeah, a bit of a roller coaster. I suppose for today we set our stall out that we wouldn't concede a goal. We did that well in the first half. I thought we played very well in the first half. We kept our shape well. Unfortunately, the second half, very good penalty. Was a penalty. She played the ball on the ground, and the second one was a bit disappointing because it was a tap into the back post. And we've been working a good bit on that. Defensively, I thought we did well. We had an awful lot of girls playing in new positions for the first time. Our 2 usual wing backs were playing cornerback. Clodagh is a usual midfield playing full back, and I thought they did exceptionally well. We worked a good bit on our defensive systems, trying to not concede goals, as I said. But I was happy with the first half. When we lost 2 players, to sin bins, 20 minutes to a team like Galway, you just can't be done, But great character. The last 10 minutes when we got back up to 15, 6 points down after the water break, to come back and win it by a point is very, very satisfying.
Yeah, we saw Rachel Kearns got player of the match today, but the work that Niamh Kelly did leading up to the scores and off the ball as well was massive. Yeah,
and Niamh's only off and playing 2 weeks. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's, I suppose she's done 2 training sessions with us. So to have a player of her quality back is unbelievable. And in fairness to Rachel has been injured. She was playing soccer obviously with Galway United. She picked up an injury, so she's only back training a week as well. So you could see there's a small bit of rustiness there with Turbo. She's lethal when she gets on a ball. There's no better player
A couple of players that we noticed that came up trumps when backs were against the wall, yellow cards came in. We saw at one end Ella Brennan got on a lot of dirty ball when it was needed. Shauna Howley of the far end as well. I think 6 points she got today.
Yeah, Shauna, that's her first inter-county game in 3.5 or 4 years. And people can say, these girls coming back, it takes time. Inter-county is just a higher pace and it's a higher level. And they have been playing a high level of club, but it's just another step up. And Shauna did excellent today, as did the other girls.
And for the first game back, I know teams are coming in, picking up injuries in training and that, but there didn't seem to be that many stoppages in play, and happy enough, I'd say, in terms of players' fitness.
Yeah, but again, the same would be with Galway. You can't beat games. We can have as many training sessions as we want. We've been doing an awful lot of football in training. There hasn't been much running, but I think that will bring us on a good bit as well. And it's all preparation. I think there's no pre-season now. A lot of counties will be using the league as a kind of pre-season, and it's 3 weeks in a row, so it's brilliant for us. And it's great for the girls. It might mean an awful lot to Galway, but that meant a lot to us. To win our first home game in McHale Park is big, and to beat Galway, because we haven't done it too often the last couple of years. So yeah, we'll take that all day.
Finally, we just something myself and Sinead noticed from the commentary position. the defensive system, it seemed like, from what we could be wrong, but from what we saw, there was a zonal system that worked very well in the first half.
Yeah.
That looks like something that you've obviously worked on and kept Galway out and the lead going into half time as well.
Yeah, and again, it's a starting point. As we said to the girls, we have a kind of system that they're working towards. It went a bit out the window when we went down to 14, as you'd expect, and the girls have only been doing a couple of weeks of it, so we're very pleased with the application. Definitely something that we need to improve on as we go on, but where we'll do that is in games. The training field is fine, but when you have a team like Galway running at you, that'll really test it.
So Eilish, first game of the season, first game under new management, different things coming in, but you got the win today.
Yeah, great win. We've been training the last few weeks, so it's great to be back. We got a great evening for it. We've a lot of work put in now the last few weeks. Yeah, as you said, we've a new management, so we've a new outlook on things, and we're delighted with the win.
Something we noticed in the commentary position as well, the defensive system worked very well in the first half, sort of a zonal marking sort of a thing. But unfortunately the 2 yellow cards meant that kind of had to go out the window. Yeah,
that did go out the window there for a while. That's where we have to kind of react to situations. So thankfully just had to drop a few of the wing forwards and the corner forwards back up. As you said, we were zonal, so we kind of just had to shift things around, but thankfully it worked in our favour anyways.
As the game goes on, myself and Sinead Stagg were on commentary earlier on, and 6 points down, a few minutes to go, you're thinking, do you just lump balls in, do you be a bit patient? But you got there in the end.
Yeah, thankfully we were patient today. Something we've kind of said at training is to work the ball around, and another time we probably would just kick it in and hope for the best, but thankfully we dug deep and kind of ticked it over, and Rachel got a screamer of a point there to get us going, so yeah, delighted. Absolutely.
And the training schedule now, not too many injuries by the looks of things, but it's fairly hectic.
Yeah, it's fairly hectic there at the start. We had a few niggles alright at the start, but we got them early, I think is the main thing. We've 1 or 2 niggles now, but I think they're coming around again, so that's usually the story when you go back to such high intensity after doing kind of work by yourself, but thankfully we've no serious injuries at the minute.
Definitely. The reintroduction as well, so Niamh Kelly starting today. It's good to get the girls back from Australia and playing as well.
Yeah, exactly. The 2 girls, it's amazing to get them back, and they bring a lot of kind of, I suppose tactics from Australia or whatever kind of transfer over into the Gaelic game, so it's great to have them back as well. They're 2 huge boosts.
Right, so that's it for today. Job done for both Mayo and Sligo. Sligo win the hurling game by 9 points. Mayo, a last minute point from Deirdre Doherty of Charlestown, getting them the victory over Galway. 6 points down, come back and win the game. Ideal start for Michael Moyles and his team. So that's everything from today. You had, as I said, the Sligo and Mayo games, a bit of a behind the scenes into the equipment, into the setup that goes into it. Couldn't exactly record everything, but as the weeks go on, I'll get more and more into it, get talking to more people as well. You kind of have to get a feel for this sort of stuff as well. So I hope that gave you a bit of an insight into the day in the life of a match commentator. If you want to see more stuff like this, do let me know. Any people you want me to talk to in particular. And I'll be back next week with another podcast. This has been episode 60. As always, make sure to like, share with your friends, and give me more suggestions for podcasts in the future. Thanks for watching.